basis.
216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
35192. Want to send me a text? AlanCoxShow.com. Want to email me? You can do it there. If you want to watch live, you can. Find the Alan Cox Show YouTube channel. Cavs play tonight. You will hear that on the iHeartRadio app and, of course, live on WMMS. Cavs against the Orlando Magic, 7 o'clock at the Romo Fijo, before they hit the road to play in the aforementioned Milwaukee, Wisconsin, against the Bucks. And then the Bucks come here on Monday. Cavs remain undefeated, 5-0 right now. But it's a long season. And as I understand it, still many, many games to be played. I was looking over some data earlier, not to get too granular with it, but it turns out this season they have more than 17 games to play. I think I have that right, unless I was misreading that.
And there's no way to know.
At least 17 games to play.
Yeah.
But Cavs, Magic tonight, 7 o'clock on WMMS. Alan, you talk about nobody communicating or nobody vetting anything. It even happens at the factory where I work. A truck will show up for delivery on Saturday, but nobody's there on the weekends. So they have to sleep in their cab until Monday. Imagine that, right? Honey, I'm going to be camping out in the parking lot of this factory before they deadhead back to Tampa or whatever. So there's a kid. Let me play this for you. It's a piece of video from a mom who took to TikTok to mention a note that she got from her son's school. And she's like, hey, I want to let you know your son's not in trouble, but FYI. And she posts a copy of the message or whatever.
This is the text I got from my kindergartner's teacher this morning. Good morning. Let me first say Hudson is not in trouble for this. He came up to me before recess and pulled this out of his pocket, asking what it was. I did not tell him what it was, just that I will dispose of it and let you know that we discovered this.
It's a picture of a condom. Her little kid had a condom in his pocket.
That, friends, is a condom that my 5-year-old brought to school today. The rest of the conversation, clearly, I have no idea where this condom come from. He said he just put his hands in his pocket and found it. Now, Heaven and I went to Walmart the other night. We bought Hudson some new jeans because he wanted them. Apparently, there was a condom in the jean pockets. So, my 5-year-old brought a condom to school today.
Someone is lying. Because I think this kid F's. That's what I think. I think this kid, either the dad is lying, it was his, and he, in a moment of panic, stuck it into his kid's jeans and then forgot about it. There is a chance that when they bought these kids' jeans at Walmart, there was already a condom in the pocket. Somebody goofing around, maybe. But I think the kid is lying to his parents.
You think
he's
out there?
Yeah.
He's active?
I think this 5-year-old kid, now, first off, props to him because he's being responsible, right? He can't even do anything yet. It's not like he needs it. He's 5.
But you still want to be safe.
Yeah, that's right. Safety first. Yeah. How? Just as an administrative point here. How are people arriving at their kids' names? She's like, so Hudson came back from school. How do you?
I don't know. People
Hudson. You can name your kid whatever you want, but it was, we were out trick or treating last night. I overheard a guy.
She likes Hudson Hawk.
Well, who doesn't? Danny Aiello? Come on. I overheard a guy last night referring to his son, Nixon. And I'm like, bro. He's probably he was probably after the skatewear brand because skate or die dude, whatever. But that's not what people are going to think of.
It's spelled with X's, huh?
When the, yeah, I guess. Maybe not. But even if it was NICK, they're going to think of Richard Nixon. Hey, Nixon, get over here, will ya? This is our dog Checkers. So anyway, I think that the kid, they should be, by the way, because apparently there's video, they should be checking the background on these Diddy freak-offs for that kid. Because witnesses have been looking at some of these Diddy freak-off vids. And the headline was that the grand jury has been looking at some video. And the headline was that there were A-list celebrities in one of the Diddy videos that they looked at as part of this ongoing litigation. And I was thinking, oh, these people must be clenched up, worried that they're going to get found out. Well, it turns out that the celebrities were the victims, including underage stars. Now, it might be a lot of clickbait. There's a guy who's kind of been making the rounds, and I'm not quite
setting up another Nickelodeon documentary.
Yeah. But no, I was thinking like, I don't know. I don't know how many A-list underage stars there are, but one of the witnesses in this has been saying that he saw sex tapes that had some well-known people in it, including, at least, he says, 2 underage male stars. This is a guy who testified in front of the grand jury yesterday that he saw 6 males and 2 female celebrities engaging in sex acts with Diddy on the tapes. He said they all appeared to be inebriated. You think they'd have to be, right? You're not walking in like, hey, could I get a cranberry juice? I'm just going to dive right into this puppy pile, and we'll see how it shakes out. Maybe that Zachary Ty Bryan was part of it. You know, the kid from Home Improvement who keeps getting DUIs?
He keeps getting DUIs.
He's a grown-ass man. Well, it's got to be tough when you're like I don't know that any of those Home Improvement kids emerged unscathed. It's not like they have careers, I don't think. It's got to suck if you're that's a tale as old as time. The kid actors who, get a little older, a little ganglier, and it all dries up for them. And they turn to the bottle. But this guy is making the rounds. I guess I'm unclear how they can be doing television interviews if they're a witness and testifying. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But this guy, Courtney Burgess, was on Ashley Banfield's show talking about how he saw 2 or 3 underage celebrities in one of these Diddy freak-off tapes. 11 flash drives that he said were given to him by Diddy's ex-girlfriend, this woman, Kim Porter. And so the Diddy thing, because a lot of people are asking the question, why is Diddy in jail and that Abercrombie and Fitch CEO is walking around? You know, they scooped that guy up too. The former Abercrombie CEO, that Mike Jeffries.
He's busted?
Well, yeah, they got him on some kiddie porn thing. And if you remember the Abercrombie documentary, if you've seen it, it's called...
That was more about like discrimination.
Well,
right?
it
That
was,
wasn't
yeah, but
this.
he was in it. No,
Yeah.
It was called White Hot. It was the rise. It was called The Rise and Fall of Abercrombie and Fitch. But I guess that documentary led them in the direction of looking into this guy, Mike Jeffries, who is 80 years old, by the way, but he's had so much plastic surgery, he looks very, very strange. I mean, he's had, a lot of tightening done and whatever. But they arrested him. 16 federal charges, including sex trafficking and prostitution. Abercrombie and Fitch, by the way, based in Ohio. That Les Wexner, he's the richest man in the state.
Yeah, in Columbus.
Yeah, he's the guy behind all these companies. He was the guy that was bankrolling Jeffrey Epstein and, And so all of these people who had come forward saying, yeah, Mike Jeffries was, tickling my nickels or whatever. And that documentary is pretty wild. Because the whole thing, it is largely about discrimination, but that whole documentary is also kind of alluding to the fact that, they liked smooth boys to be their models because that's what some people liked. And this Mike Jeffries guy was credited with making Abercrombie what it was. Abercrombie and Fitch had been around since the 60s. And it was like in the toilet. And this guy comes along, he's like, we're going to have half-naked people stand out front of our stores. We're going to send these glossy catalogs out. But obviously that kind of environment, in hindsight, you go, oh, that was like that was a playground for people who probably did not have the best of intentions. And so, yeah, Mike Jeffries, they've indicted him on a bunch of nasty charges, but he's walking around. And Diddy's in jail. And they can't figure out, the cases are not exactly the same, obviously. I don't know that there were Abercrombie freak-offs. I'd like to know that. But you have to think there are a lot of people worried about these Diddy tapes. He's just trying to stay out of prison for the rest of his life. But there have to be a lot of famous people in these. The white parties are one thing. We've all seen photos because he invited so many people to the white parties that, people go, oh, look, Trump was at, everybody was at the white parties.
Yeah, I think those parties, he had a ton of parties. And I think when you throw all those parties so that the ones that are extra freaky kind of get, it creates like a thing like, oh, I was at one and it was wild. And then there's the ones that were actual like illegal stuff happening and abuse
flying in hookers. And
those ones kind of get mixed around with that. And then it just becomes rumors, not actual evidence.
Right. No, the Epstein stuff with Trump, that's a whole other thing. You can pin him to that. There's like Epstein tapes that they dropped of him talking about all that stuff. But the Diddy thing, everybody wanted to get invited to Diddy parties, the white parties. And people who don't even have the whiff of impropriety about them, right? If you see Martin Short in a white suit at a Diddy party, nobody's like, oh my God, Martin Short was at the freak-off. They're like, no, it's Paul Schaefer in there. Those aren't the guys they're thinking
now,
of.
I would like to see Jiminy Click
at
the white party.
A big white suit. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this witness says there's a whole lot of videotape from the freak-offs that got some underage celebrities in there. And obviously, people are curious about who those might be. Alan, in the car community, some kids are named after cars. Hudson, Lincoln, Zephyr. Zephyr. Paolo Banchero is out for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, boy. Yep. My goodness.
I think an oblique tear or something like that.
Ouch.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know. You move wrong.
You got to do your calisthenics.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do your HIIT workout.
Yeah,
you got to stay limber. I do all my stretches before I start lifting in the morning. You got to.
Yeah, you got to warm up.
Especially, I'm 53, man, especially. Got to warm up. Got to stretch the hammies. You got to get yourself moving and grooving. Alan, you think Danny Masterson was at any of those Diddy parties? I don't know. Maybe. Don't know. Yeah, so that whole situation remains to be seen. But again, back to the kid whose mom posted that he went to school and had a condom in his pocket. I think that kid is lying to his parents.
I bet he got it from another kid in school and then just like, man.
Another kid?
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if the teacher was like, hey, he's not in trouble or anything, but we found this in his pocket, and it's a used condom.
Ugh.
Because then the mom goes, all right, I haven't even had the talk with him. And the kid sits there and he's like, Mom, I don't need the talk. I'm walking the walk, Mom. Look at this. Yeah, I used it, and it's still empty. Nothing's coming. It's still dust. I'm 5. There's nothing coming out.
I want to be sure you know how to use a condom, rubber, a raincoat, a boner bucket, party hat, squirt skirt, love sock.
Mm-hmm. Love sock. So the real explanation is probably not that exciting. Let's be honest. It's probably not that. But I just like that the mom felt compelled to put that on TikTok. Because there's no big twist. There's no twist to
there's
it.
no payoff.
Yeah,
It's
hey, this is the message, and okay, well, I mean, it's a kicker. It's a human interest story. That's why I'm talking about it. I thought it was funny. But I don't know. I mean, when you're in high school, you're walking around with condoms in your back pocket because you want people to notice. You're trying to get that ring in your wallet or something, right?
I mean,
trouble with that is,
I wonder if that's still a thing.
If you get I'm talking about I was in the 80s, but trouble is, if you end up with the ring, that means it's
you're
gone
not using it.
unused. Yeah. They go, goddamn long is that in there? You go, I don't know. I opened it up and it was all powder.
Mm-hmm.
Is that too long for a condom? I think they're supposed to be a little squishier than that.
They're supposed to, not revert to a powder state.
Well, once that lubricant gets dry. I got one more pair of tickets for you to see Under Oath. They are celebrating the 20th anniversary of their album, They're Only Chasing Safety. If you're an Under Oath fan, well-versed in what they're doing. And part of that tour is they do fan-voted songs, too. So they'll play the album front to back, then they'll do a fan-voted set every night. That is the end of this month. Now we're in November, so it's Saturday the 30th at the Agora. WMMS, 2 hours to midnight, presenting Under Oath. So I'll hand those off to you as soon as we get back, and then 5:30 is going to be